Looking to kick old habits to the curb? #1 New York Times bestselling author Jen Sincero gets to the core of habit transformation in Badass Habits. Whether you need to break them, make them, understand them, or stick to them, Badass Habits shows you how in a simple 21-day guide. Featuring Jen's hilarious voice, Badass Habits offers a much-needed fresh take on conventional wisdom. Badass Habits, with audiobook read by the author, is now available wherever books and audiobooks are sold.
Big Lux?
Never.
What about you, Chino? Nope. You never listen to this?
I listen to Mario, what's that? One radio show in the joint.
The Art LeBeau?
Hey, put on the headphones, man.
Radio Bilingüe.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
It was called Radio Bilingüe.
Yeah.
Wait,
Radio
there was a
Bilingüe.
show. There was a radio show in prison.
Well, in prison, you get a radio if you
It was like a Central Valley,
Right.
like a Central Valley station that
Oh,
you get over
right.
there where they got all the prisons built. You get
Right.
these weird stations
It's a
up in
radio
the Central
show.
Valley.
It came
Right.
on every 11 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning. Nothing but oldies, take you back. you know?
Right.
Put
Hey,
some-
was that the one you could send the dedications to,
Yeah.
right? So you'd send in dedications, and Lepke will talk about. You know what? We're gonna save that for the show, dude, because Lepke would write in these long ass, like crazy ass, right? And then we'd be waiting every Sunday, right?
To see
Next
it.
Sunday, be like, they had to have gotten around, and then they wouldn't do it, and Lepke would be all sad. And then next week, we'd listen, and they'd be like, Lepke,
There was a time. There was a
fucking
time they
way."
were setting people up. You put in for a pimp pal or something, and they'll throw you out there. For anybody who wants to.
Right.
So-and-so.
Hey, get it, Lepke. He's over on the Sea Yard over in Lancaster. Whatever,
Yeah.
Hey, give up his CDC number, and people would hear it. Chicks would write it, But
No
but
shit.
it'd also be like, I want to give a shout out to so and so in the shoe and so. It was a big shout out. It's like having your own commercial,
Right.
But he would write so many letters that they had to read his shit because he'd be on him, bro.
They
And
probably
he-
had his letter posted. Don't.
Yeah.
answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna talk about that with Lepke. It's funny.
So, like, what were the, like, oldies? Like, what kind of oldies?
Old school oldies, hard to find oldies, underground.
Like what, man? Like, what's some shit that some young dudes they don't know anything about it?
Underground oldies.
Yeah, but like what?
Man, Fork in the Road.
Fork in the road.
Yeah, Smokey Robinson. Fork in the Road.
Let's see.
There's a handful. There's a good issue.
Something like this, maybe? Something like this?
Not no dude, Bob. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, shit. This one's going out to CR. Hey, gentlemen.
to see y'all.
Hey, all you groovy kids and
Well,
cats.
like if we were all on the yard together, right?
Yeah,
All of us.
yeah.
And I was the one writing the letter,
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, it's Big Lucky. I'm kicking it here with Lil Chumahan, Big Chino, Big Sean. We're holding it down over here in Pleasant Valley, California. All you beautiful ladies, if you want to write us, get us is C42995, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's like a commercial, right?
Yeah.
So everybody in the penal in the CDC system, all the homies
Yeah.
in
They'll
all
hear
the
that.
prisons
They'll hear it.
are listening.
Yeah.
We're all listening at the same time, 11 to 3, right?
Yeah.
And when that shit comes on, and it's like, yo, okay, I want to give a big shout out to Lepke.
That was the talk of the day.
That was about as famous as you could get to. And then those other prisons know, oh, those dudes are the ones that are over there. They're at so-and-so, right?
Yeah.
So it was, and bro, they were picking out some shit you don't know, like this, dude. Yeah. See, we're getting to learn a little bit here.
Yeah.
We get a lesson on oldies. We get a lot of lessons today.
Does Smokey Robinson always have like a falsetto voice? Like that's his thing.
That's his
huh?
thing, the
Natural.
high pitch.
Natural.
Yeah, he doesn't have to try.
Yeah.
Because when you talk to him, when you hear him talk, he talks like a Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Right.
High school voice.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
What about that? Yeah, this one's going out to Big Lep. He's making some pruno.
Who your covers.
Eh,
Everybody's at your door with a cup.
Yeah.
hey, what was the other stuff that he was talking about?
The white lightning.
The white lightning. It's going out to Big Left. Don't let him drink the white lightning. We don't need that kind of trouble over at Folsom.
They get that shit looking like a bottle of water, huh?
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah. There was some paisas next to us. They were making it pues in a Folgers lid full. It was like $45. They were selling it.
Fuck.
But my Sally knew these paisas, and they slide them over every once in a while. And the homeboy blessed me with the lid. I said, "Damn, ask for another one." He goes, "Give it 10 minutes." I said, "Man, I can't wait that long."
Right.
5 minutes. Once he's shooting up, we like manda otro, you know. So he sent another one. I got lit with 2 fucking lids.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. They were saying that white lightning, like somebody might die on the yard. Like
They
there might.
can, if it ain't cooked right.
Yeah.
If it ain't cooked right.
Right.
Or the Indians get hold of it.
Yeah, Indians get
Bro,
hold of
they
it.
do that. They kill. I'm telling you, bro. Fucking these 2 dudes. They had what? Wait, I don't know. I heard stories. It didn't happen in person in front of me, but I heard stories of like 2 Indians getting into it in their cell,
Yeah.
and one killed the other one
I
drunk.
wouldn't doubt it.
You know,
I wouldn't doubt it.
and probably a lot of races. You know,
Hey, man,
that shit in
because
you didn't do anything. You don't have to be an Indian.
No, it's true. And the thing that's crazy about it is like when you get that fucked up, some shit that in your normal brain you doesn't make any sense. When you're real fucked up, it makes a lot of sense.
This is why alcohol, to me, is one of the most, if not the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous drugs in the world, bro. And that shit's legal.
Yep.
What?
Because that's why I don't like, that's why I personally, I mean, I did a lot of Sherm when I was young. But I don't like when I don't have control over what I'm doing.
Oh,
And alcohol, PCP, I'll be doing shit that I wouldn't come up with doing on my normal, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm out of control. But alcohol does that shit to you, bro. And I'm not saying a couple beers. I'm talking about the way drinking alcohol like you're saying.
Yeah.
When you're fucking just trying to get the head changed. And that's it.
I mean, I gotta be straightforward. That was all I was ever trying to do.
Right.
I was never from the gate. From when I was swimming in my mom's uterus all the way to right now, the only purpose I had with alcohol was to get fucked up. I was not interested in getting tipsy. I didn't give a shit how good the wine tastes. I don't give a fuck. You could put.
I need to get where I'm going.
I need a break from this shit that's going on in my head right about now. Like, this is serious business.
We know
I ain't
about
here.
that. We know about those.
I ain't here to play around.
So what do we? So listen, man.
Do you wanna?
I'm fucking embarrassed.
Are you?
Bro. I'm not. I don't even want to say that. I need to retract what I just said.
Go ahead.
Didn't I?
Hold on.
Embarrassed isn't even a word that would. Go ahead.
Go. Keep. I was gonna say, kick the theme. It's starting.
I'm completely.
Your product, basement hard luck. Basement hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Your product, basement hard luck. Basement hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Yeah. Good afternoon and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified, qualified West Side host, Steve Lucky Luciano. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You've tuned into the greatest show on earth. It's the Hard Luck Show, coming at you live from the bunker in Southern California. Sitting across from me, my co-host, my partner,
Is Chumahan Bowen, American Indian, Southern Californian, elegant barbarian. Here to drop some fucking knowledge once again.
Yeah.
Stick it to the man.
Man.
If you die for your people.
Yeah.
If you see through the evil.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, today's a very special episode.
Absolutely.
Episode.
If you speak your native tongue. We forever young.
Yeah. It just gets
Say it.
real savage, bro. Like, that shit gets me pumped up, bro, on some fucking real warrior shit. I hear that, bro.
Better and better.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And on
How
sound,
long did it take you to learn all that?
it just happened over time.
See.
Sean, Blue Eyes.
Sean Lewis. Certified audio professional engineer. For
like
the
it.
heart.
I like it.
I like this.
Look. Sean.
This is badass.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is Smiths. Not the Smiths, the other UK version, the US version. This is El Matador.
Bold, brave, and swift will I be, but I will be numero uno, torero fino. She'll dream tonight.
Yeah, you know the thing is
It's
when
that Spanish guitar, bro.
when the old Blue Eyes came in, he was riding a horse. He had a saddle, some chaps,
Yeah.
fucking spurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking cigar in
He
his
came
mouth.
out from riding the trail, the Chisholm Trail. Out there with Chisholm Trail. That's what it's called. Chisholm.
Chisholm?
Nah, not
Chisholm.
Chisholm, you fucking. Chisholm. 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 That's old John Wayne shit.
Hey, you said you were on the Chisholm Trail.
Chisholm Trail.
Wow,
Running,
sounds so-
Chisholm Trail running down your face.
Yeah, dog. Like you got a little chism on your bottom lip trail, huh?
The trail.
Hey, yeah, you didn't disrespect this man like that. And then try and
It's just
cover it
like
up. We got.
We got a special elder, a man.
Wait, that older.
I
That
mean,
old.
no, I'm not saying elder don't mean old. Elder means respect, knowledge.
Oh, we got a lot of that right here. That's for sure. Got my boy Big Chino in the house right here.
Chino.
Chino, what's up, Chino?
All right.
Yeah.
Flossing, just right here, flossing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Chino's sitting in
On
on some things. We wanted, you know, we got Chino over here today, and we have a priority of business today.
yeah.
At the Hard Luck Show. Listen, you know, all jokes aside, damn, fucking, I don't even have a word yet to describe kind of what we saw go on this week with our country, with our nation, with our United States. You know,
Everybody's talking about that. Putting
Yeah.
us down.
it's just
Putting us down.
yeah. I mean,
Russia, China.
what do we look
Iraq.
like? What does that look like to the rest of the world?
Crazy.
It's embarrassing thinking
Yeah,
about
it
that
is
because they're a great big reality TV show. That's what
Right.
it looks like. And our president is really a reality TV
There's
show.
some slapstick shit going on right
It's
now.
completely.
It's a fucking
and when you
joke.
see
We're
the
a
guy
joke.
with the buffalo fucking horns and the
yeah.
painted face with the fur collar,
Don't even get me started on that guy.
bro, this looks.
That guy calls himself a shaman.
man, dude, and then just this, it's not only the fact of how embarrassing comically it looks. Not only you have to digest and get through that part, then it's the slap in the face, not only to our Constitution, to our everything, right? These so-called Americans, so-called fucking patriots, shitting on America, and then thirdly, you have to somewhere try and digest that this would not be happening if it was me on those steps or somebody with a shade darker than me. Try and digest that part. There's like multiple layers to this thing that makes you sick that you can't even get the whole thing down your stomach. You just turn and walk away because it is layers to this shit, and we are really, really getting to see where the psyche is of a lot of people in America. It's not there's a lot of people out there, and they really, 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 their colors are being shown, and it's a deep, deep, deep seated.
I gotta
Come on,
Let's
you bring it, Chumahan.
let's set the scene. Let's listen to the journal.
Beliefs that, among other things, that Donald Trump is
stormed into the U.S. Capitol.
Listen to this.
The mob smashed windows, stole property, and injured a police officer who later died.
Let me ask you a question. Let's just pause it right there for a second, right? 5 people died in this insurrection, right?
Five?
5. It's 5 now.
Damn.
Did you see the lady that got blasted?
Yeah, she got
right at the door.
She got. Did you? I'm gonna try to pull up the blasting. She was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
She was in the Air Force, and you see,
Oh,
dude.
so she was a military person.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cats that were in the military, brother.
Yeah.
That were the ones up there
That was up there.
getting down.
Hey, some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
No, it's absolute.
But so think about this. Let me ask, I know.
She was a veteran.
And I could say, Sean probably's never killed a police officer. But let me ask you guys, because you guys might know somebody or seen or heard or whatever. But Chino, Big Lux, if you guys had even indirectly caused the death of a police officer,
man, they will turn the state. I'm not even talking about the city of Los Angeles. They would turn the state upside down. Every division and arm of law enforcement would join in, right? Motherfuckers, CHP and Sacramento,
like a turkey
and
hunt.
they would
Like a
find
turkey
and
hunt.
kill.
Turkey
They will find and kill, just
Straight
like they
fire.
did that dude in the cabin.
Yes,
That motherfucker that was
that's what I was
bucking
just
down
gonna bring
judges.
up. Chris,
You were never
what was
going to
his
see
name?
that guy. You were never going to see him. It didn't matter what he did. Now,
Right.
You're going to be executed.
The
for what you did.
ex-cop
Right.
who went on a rampage. You remember that?
yeah, and you remember,
And he only killed one cop, right?
he only killed one cop.
Judge.
But he killed a judge. But the thing is that guy had finally gotten sick and tired of the racist shit that was going on in the police
and
force.
It was all about this too, bro. That's what it was about.
That
Him
is-
pulling
that-
the covers on shit.
And because he was targeting cops,
Right.
they fucking
But people came from all over to hunt this man down.
Right.
Everybody got involved, right? But I'm saying, man, and Chuma, go ahead. I'm not going to cut you
No,
off.
keep going.
If somebody said, if motherfucking Chino, if you had a dream about killing a cop, a motherfucking cop will wake your ass up and arrest your ass.
Yeah.
Is that the truth or
That's
not?
the truth.
You don't want to know what's fucked up about all that? I mean, really, if you really want to get down to it, when you could call them rioters if you want. You can call them looters if you want. I mean, whatever you want to call them, right? When Black Lives Matter and all those people were getting killed by police without due process, right? I mean, there's rules to the game, right? And they were killing people by not following the rules of the game. All the right wingers, right? They were like, Blue Lives Matter. You shouldn't be rioting in the streets. That's not cool, man. What the
Right.
fuck? And all of a sudden, just like that, the right wing is down with killing cops.
Right.
They're down with rioting. Now when the game, and this is the part that drives me nuts because, you get some of these fucking chowder-headed fucking fuck faces, and they go like, oh, so now the left is wants to protect law and order now, huh? Is that how it is now? And it's like, no, bitch ass. The truth of the matter is, the riots that happened for Black Lives Matter, that was about law and order.
Yeah.
The reason why people got upset was that the cops weren't following the rules. And now when the left is saying, okay, now we had elections. We had elections. Like, you had your chance. Right?
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Suck it up and get the hell out.
Dude, we want it, and listen, let's not paint, like, let's be real. Okay, you had a president of the United States, 45th motherfucker of the United States, and Rudy Giuliani, who is like an octopus on cocaine, just running around, saying whatever, right? Googly-eyed and crazy and jerking off on camera and all that weird shit.
Yeah.
Guy's done everything.
Right.
Okay. America's mayor. America's mayor.
Number 2 scumbag. Yeah.
So you had all of that. Now, you got to also remember that as the president of the United States, he's been able to put his cronies into important positions.
Yeah.
Right? He gives them jobs. That's what part of becoming the president means. You get to now, pull your suspenders and pull out some favors and start dealing out some fucking jobs to people, right?
Open the door.
Betsy DeVos, you want to come in and do education? That's cool. Ben Carson, Uncle Ben, Uncle Rice Ben, you want to come in and do fucking HUD? Okay, I'll give you that one. What do you want? You want that one? And
Well, you with that one?
yeah. And pick one. Right. And he said, okay, now we're going to put some judges. Now listen to this. I'm telling you something, man. As an attorney, I know for a fact that there's a lot of shit judges can do that doesn't get put on paper that controls how cases get turned out. Okay? They can do all kinds of things, right? And they can, make little evidentiary rulings. They can even let your evidence in and then just give your evidence no weight. Be like, okay, yeah, why don't you tell me about that? Okay, you got that? The police officer said that? I'll let you bring it in. And then in the chambers, when he's writing his opinion or she's writing her opinion, she'll be like, yeah, I don't give a shit about that. Fuck it.
That's all it is. It's just a little, like a little tweak like that.
It's just like what Tate was saying last time, just a slight calibration, right? So these judges, and they're all getting in. And half of these judges aren't even, they don't have the seasoning. Remember when some dude was telling us a story about how he was running something in the fucking county? Mm-hmm. Remember? And he didn't have any experience. He had a clipboard or something. And he's like, right? It's like that. Somebody got put in charge of something, responsibilities that didn't have any experience. There's like half of them are like that. So they owe Trump. They owe him. Plus all the money he can raise. Plus all of the fucking political favors. Plus blah, blah, blah. So you think about how much money and power is behind somebody who wants to challenge the election. Mm-hmm. Right? It's not like he was a broke person out of some fucking ghetto in Cleveland that didn't have a pot to piss in trying to challenge something. He had all the money and opportunity anybody in the United States could ever want.
Yep.
Okay? And he took it. He didn't sit on his hands. He fucking took it. So, and he filed like 40 lawsuits in 40 different states. Mm-hmm. Think about that. With some of the judges that he even appointed. Mm-hmm. Including the Supreme Court that he even put in at the top, at the highest branches, right?
Right.
So he stacked the deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Right? He stacked the deck. He's got more money than ever, and he's willing to file all the lawsuits, and they did.
Right. He actually pulled the trigger on this.
And listen, right? Now listen to this. There are mechanisms in the United States to challenge elections, legal mechanisms, and he took full advantage of all of them. Yeah. Right? Now, after all that, right? After all that, he lost every single lawsuit.
Yeah.
Even his closest friends were like, Donald, man, you're really putting me in a
row. Come on, bro. Stop
you're making me look bad.
Right.
Stop it, bro. Right now.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, man, hey, Donald, check this out, right?
Like, got Giuliani sweating
ink. Sweating ink down his neck, right? Shit's coming out of his ears.
Yeah.
Slow the fuck down.
He got like 8 chism trails coming down the side of his
boiling
head.
his fucking the shit in his head and bleeding out his ears. Right?
Shit all black.
Like Gollum, dude. Like straight up fucking Lord of the Rings Gollum. So think about it. If at any point on that major operation, there was even like a crack, like a little speck, an iota of fraud in the election. Then they would have seized on it, right? And it would have been blown up and been huge. But after all of that, right, there was nothing. He batted 0. He struck out.
40 on 40.
According to the rules.
0 for 40.
His own rules and his own guys struck out. Struck out. Man. And even to the point where he called up the Georgia secretary.
Desperate.
Oh, he called up the Georgia Secretary of State or whoever it was, governor, and he's like, now listen.
I only need 11,000 votes.
Find them.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Chino. Like, was it possible to read between the lines of what Donald Trump was saying at that?
He's trying to bamboozle this dude, man.
Bamboozle Trump. Yeah, I mean, listen, does anybody need to have it spelled out for him? It's like, now look, all we need to find is 11,780. Now, if you can find them, I'm not exactly sure where they will be, but like maybe they're in a cabinet somewhere in the back. You know, it could be real good for everybody.
And he was trying to explain to him where the date is wrong. Whatever date, whatever that you're questioning and arguing, your dates are wrong. He's even telling them, you know? Hardhead.
Dude, how badly are you fucking up when you're a Republican president and the Secretary of State of the most southern state in the United States of Georgia isn't on your team? How bad are you fucking up when that happens?
That's crazy.
Right? So all that goes down. And you would think to yourself, all right, like you made your point. right? You did what you could. You know what I mean? You made your point. And the part that drives me crazy about this is that on some level, he had set himself up for a pretty damn good speaking gig career after this. Think about that, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Think about, like, how after this, how many times could he go around?
He could light fires in every state almost.
Right. And he could charge an arm and a leg.
Who's that, Trump?
Yeah, he had set himself up.
That guy's got to be in prison, man. All that shit can't happen. That dude's got to go to jail, man.
But he couldn't just let it go.
No.
You know what I mean?
He's a pig. It's a pig, just like anything else. And when you're a pig, you can't see.
Money talks. Money talks. He's got all that money. The lawyer's on his jock, you know?
You imagine?
Sniveler. Just accept it and pack up and go. Trash pack.
Man.
I mean, and so, like, you think about all of that, right? You think about all that, and you're just like, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that the left is saying, bro, we gave you the rules. You played a game.
We gave you 4 years.
Dude, listen. Say what you want about Hillary Clinton. Say what you want. She's a fucking corporate whatever, fine. But I'll tell you what. She had the fucking class to admit she lost and concede that election.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. She said, fuck it. This is the game I chose to play. And these are the rules of the game. And I lost. And I'm going to hold my head up. I'm going to fucking, say I lost. And that's what it is. Same thing with Obama. Obama's, hey, like when you join a neighborhood or you're a part of an organization, do you get to change up the rules when shit don't go the way you want it to go?
Nope. No way.
I mean, what do you call somebody that wants to play a game and then when they start to lose and they don't like the rules and they want to change the rules of the game? What do you call that?
A dangerous motherfucker.
Yeah, hard up.
Loser.
Hard up.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a wreck waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not going to follow that guy.
Nope.
I'm not going to follow him.
Right. And the part that drives me crazy is that, like, the people that do follow that guy, who the fuck are they?
Confederates. Confederates. See all them Confederate flags they were flossing.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So I'm wondering if what is he gonna do? Is he gonna because there's a real cold piece, and I think everybody feels it inside, and that's that Trump is never going to be held accountable for anything.
Probably not.
Just walk away on in his life and
just
next
like he's
next
been
thing.
doing.
Right. He's never been held accountable for shit.
Well, this is the reason why. Go ahead.
Well, the only thing is I'm thinking, what does Trump do from here? And Trump, I don't know. I don't know what the laws are running for governor or doing different things like that after you've shit on yourself in the presidency and how you lead the presidency. I don't even know if by law you can, but it seems like his natural progression would be to go down south and go be with his people. Because that seems to be where his people are. Down south and go live that life. And he could probably do lots of talking and light fires and get people pumped up. And maybe he'll become the head of the new white racist fucking movement.
Well, he did change his residency to Florida. He was a New Yorker, and he changed his residency to Florida. And, the other thing that people got to think about. So going back, though, to the racists, right? Like, these racists are so committed to the cause of racism that they're willing to follow somebody who doesn't want to play by the rules of the game if it's going against them. Think about that.
I was telling Lucky, why didn't they raid the White House instead of doing what they did wherever
the Capitol?
They rushed.
That's right.
With the White House.
That's right.
They didn't do it.
They didn't do it. And they've been trying to change the rules of the game as much as possible by the way they set up those districts. They got fucking data scientists looking at voting districts and trying to figure out, how do we carve away the black people? Like, how do we get them not to vote? How do we do it? And they draw these weird districts, and then they take over a state legislator, then they vote it in, and then it's like 10 white people in a neighborhood are the only votes that count for a place that actually represents 1 million black people.
Yeah, you're not
You were you were saying something like this. You were describing this whole thing with Oscar one day.
It's true.
The whole voting thing, and they break it down into districts.
Yeah.
And if nobody votes in that district and only these people, then that's represented for the whole district.
Right.
Only so much count.
Right.
Only
yeah.
so many votes.
So listen, he had all that going for him, and he still couldn't win an election against a stutterer. Biden wasn't a lot of people's first choice. And I'm not saying if you're a stutterer, you're not smart or whatever. I'm just saying you don't come across good in sound clips.
Yeah.
And half the people were like, dude, is Biden, he's got Alzheimer's or something, right? Like, why? Yeah, that doesn't sound right, you know? But the point of the matter is that who the people now, I was like really looking at and thinking about the people that follow that, because you got like a couple of categories of those folks. You got the ones that are kind of like in my mind, I think this is what happens when Insane Clown Posse can't have parties anymore or concerts, and the juggalos got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So there's a part of the Trump club that seems like juggalos, like they're all painted up and not unwashed. Kind of gross,
right?
Where you just figure,
I agree 1,000%.
Right? You just they're just running around, eating pickled sausages and fucking screaming and blowhorns and shit like that, right? Nothing against pickled sausages. I'm not trying to, but the point
once a week showers,
boil, pickled eggs, kind of people that are, all right. So you're like looking at that and you're just like, God damn, right? And then, but you also have another contingent, which is an organized, like neo-Nazi group. Mm-hmm. Like, so one group is just clownish buffoons that embarrass you. Mm-hmm. And all of us are related to at least something like that, where you're like, that guy, that person just knows. I hope.
Right.
I hope when they do the census, they don't know that I'm related to that person, because that person looked like it fell out of Mayberry. Fucking, but then you got this other contingent, which are some real scary motherfuckers. It's like real cold, like, white, steely-eyed.
out of the closets.
They're like,
out of the closet cats.
Yeah, man. Those dudes who really believed that, like, Hitler was onto something.
Yeah.
That he was making progress, and that, like, it got interrupted. And they're like, they just been biding their time.
Well, anybody that's
real
wearing,
people.
Anybody that's wearing shirts talking about Auschwitz and they didn't kill enough Jews, and like you're like reaching into something that was already like that happened. That's history. Those people, like, there's no argument to it. Like, everybody knows what Hitler did, right? They're reaching way back and trying to revive that shit and that mood and that like you really have nothing going on in your life if you're trying to pump up Nazi movement or relive that and like, that's something that somebody wants to
got hatred in you.
Yeah, man. What the fuck's going on, man? And more importantly than that, what does that have to do with America? Think about, what the fuck does the Nazi movement have to do with the United States of America? Where's the connect? There's nothing. Like, motherfuckers are idiots, bro. Just like, so, man, dude, I just, listen, I think that, what they do to Mussolini and his wife when they tried to leave Italy. I'm going to give everybody a history lesson right now.
Do it.
Mussolini, crazy ass dictator that everybody took as a joke until he started fucking.
Yeah.
Okay? This motherfucker, when the whole thing came down and ended, this dude tried to run, like they all do.
Right.
Get in a car, get to the... And, bro, the people fucking stopped this car. The people literally stopped this car, pulled this motherfucker and his wife out. And because everybody was trying to get him, they pulled him apart, limb by limb, their human body parts. They hung up Mussolini and his wife on, like, the leg.
Yeah.
Like chopping up a chicken.
Oh, yeah, bro. They pulled them, their pieces apart. It looked like it was fucking Colombia with these two.
Right.
Yeah. And like, I know, and this, and hey, I'm a good guy. But I gotta say this, man, and I'm not gonna apologize at all, man. I think him and a couple of his cronies, I think they should be publicly executed, man. I think these people should be shot in the street, and I think that we should all be able to watch that happen or hung.
Well, this is why some people are saying, like, look, either the 25th Amendment, which in the 25th Amendment, what could happen is his cabinet members, all the people he appointed, all those secretaries, they could all write to the vice president and say, yo, president is unfit. Is unfit. Something they probably could have done about a year ago, really. Should have. Right? I mean, when you got a sitting president and the General Mattis, a fucking guy who's been to war multiple times, when he was like a colonel and all this other shit, led guys in Desert Storm, like in battle, tank battalions and shit like that.
Right.
Fucking chemical suits and sweat and fucking dog-faced soldiers and all that shit that he dealt with and led. When that guy who you hired turns to you and says, you know what? You are fucked. You're no leader I've ever seen. You're un-American. You can go fuck yourself.
Right.
And not only says that in private, but writes that in a letter and sends it to the news media. I can't imagine somebody that's
Twitter.
fucked up more. Right.
Now, when you have that happen to you, now you're gonna do one of two things. You're either gonna fucking pack your bags and walk away, or you're gonna do as much damage as you can. Now you're gonna be really butthurt, and that's how he's acting.
And so you had the 25th Amendment, which the secretaries could write in, which a lot of them won't because they got no balls, they got no spine.
Right, of course.
They're resigning instead of doing that.
A lot of them are scared. That's why they quit.
That's why they quit. Running like fucking rats off a shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
face the ball game.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're
At the end, they want to run.
Yeah.
I don't get that shit, dog.
Because those people don't believe. Those people, because their higher calling, they don't have a code.
You know, let me.
They don't even believe in 602s. Or,
Don't even
you know what I mean?
602s. You know what? I'm not going to get into it. We're going to get into it in the next show. But
Right.
Just to tap, to just say.
Yeah.
It's so funny that, like, at the highest level of society, or whatever you want to call this, right? The thread of the type of person you are, it's the same thing in a fucking prison yard, bro. It's the same shit, bro. It's just different levels, bro. Like, when your world comes apart and you lose your freedom, your life, and everything you got, and you get thrown in the box, that's when the shit is the fan. Wouldn't you consider that the shit in the fan?
I mean,
when you get to see how a motherfucker operates through that happening, you gain a certain amount of respect depending on how he copes with that.
Right.
And then when you're with that motherfucker and he's talking that shit, and that shit kicks off on that yard, or they shoot that, you get to see how this motherfucker
really
walks
is.
as he talks, right? And when you start going through experiences like that with people, and you get over to here, and they're still good, and you guys are still good, you know that this person, from experience, like, they've walked through these crazy tests.
Right.
That's like why I'm saying is like, Trump's whole thing with, like, military. He didn't serve in military.
No.
Motherfucker ducked out. He's all at the front
Bone
of the football
spurs.
games. That motherfucker never fucking played no sports.
Yeah.
He's shaped like a pear, right?
Yeah.
And then he models this great, amazing businessman. That's what got him into presidency. That he was going to make us money. And when you peel that back, it's all lies, right?
Right.
He pretends, and he got into office, and as all the shit starts showing up, he's reacting completely different than who you think that you thought you knew. And that's why I'm saying, like, it takes time, and to trust somebody, you have to know or see them go through some shit and who they are. That's why that dude, who was the prisoner of war that was running for presidency?
McCain,
okay? Now, I'm not going to jump on different sides of the party, but this dude believed in something. He stood by it. He was held in POW camps. If there were going to be a fight, he's willing to be the soldier that talked about it, that did it. You know what I'm saying? And showing up. I trust somebody to an extent like that, because what they've displayed is, like, they've displayed a code of honor. And a lot of people around can show up and say, that dude did that. To me, those types of experiences that people have even that one in military holds more weight than a bunch of fucking bullshit lies.
Right.
At least you get what I'm saying? Like,
dude, think about
that type of stuff.
How you carry yourself.
Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Really think about that now that you said it. At the time, it was a big deal, but we didn't have anything to counter it with necessarily, right?
Mm-hmm.
He came out and he said that McCain wasn't a hero.
Mm-hmm. This motherfucker, man.
Not just that. He said a lot of things. You know what I mean? That's just one.
But think about this. Think about this. Just think about it for a second. John McCain was a POW, and he wasn't a POW in like Switzerland.
No.
Right? Where it was be like, they would at least make sure your medical needs were.
He was in the jungle.
He was in the fucking Viet Cong jungle with people that weren't trying to adhere to any fucking protocols.
Trying to bring you some clean water.
Getting bamboo stuck in your nails.
Yeah,
dude, I read this fucking book by this guy that was in a POW for like 5 years in the fucking jungle, bro. And he had lost so much hope. He had dysentery for like a year. He was diarrheaing for a year, right? And he was barely hanging on, and he was skin and bones, and he was eating rotten rice, and then the Vietnamese were laughing at him, and some of them were trying to be cool to him because they understood, like, he's been, and all they wanted him to do was to say, hey, communism is cool, man.
Yeah, except that the United States left me and fucked me, and you guys are good.
Right. That's all he had to do, and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. Right? And the only thing that he had as a consolation was 2 Vietnamese eagles that he raised from like hatchlings. And that's all. And I didn't even know they had eagles in Vietnam, but they do.
I didn't know.
In the jungle.
And how'd he catch him? He's caught. How'd he catch him?
What happened was the Vietnamese
they go out to work probably.
Yeah, and so they gave him 2 to look after.
Really?
He would even break some of his food off for them. Okay.
Really?
So this dude, and we're talking, he had rashes and scabs and all this shit, right? That's the same thing as what Senator John McCain was going through.
Right.
Hanoi Hilton, they called it.
Right.
But they should have called it Hanoi Hell, or at least Motel 6. But the thing is, Trump said he's no hero. What, he was a hero because he got caught? I prefer soldiers that don't get caught.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said.
Oh, yeah. It's just, so back to Trump. Just a fucking lying, arrogant piece of shit.
Not only is he a piece of shit, but those people that followed him, right? They all feel, some of them are starting to come out and say, I feel like I was punched in the stomach. Because Trump, after the shit went down,
turned his back on us.
As soon as Trump started to see there was some trouble coming his way, he got right back on fucking thing and said, listen, we need to have peace now. There will be a smooth transition. As soon as it looked like this fucking mess might end up on his front step, he had no problem saying, I'm not a part of that. Whatever that is, I don't know what that is.
He threw it out there on the internet. You know what I mean? We're going to ride and no stopping us and who knows what else he said.
When he got up there, let's see if I can pull this.
On his Instagram?
No, on his Twitter. Yeah.
They even banned him from Twitter.
Right.
So
for life. Yeah. How fucked up do you got to be to get banned from Twitter for life?
But it's back to what you say, though, Chumahan. Like, Twitter banned him, but they banned him what, now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did they even ban him a year ago with the shit he was saying, dude? Like,
something chaotic as this has to happen in order for him to get banned. You know?
I mean, it's insane.
That's what makes you think who's part of the fucking, who's involved.
Hey, check this out. I feel like the Daily did a really good job. The Daily of the New York Times did a really good job at
from the New York Times. I'm Michael Barbaro.
Setting up the what happened at the Capitol. I want to hear some of your guys' reactions to what goes on here.
Today, a mob incited by President Trump stormed the Capitol building, disrupting the certification of Joe Biden's victory in the presidential race. My colleagues, Nick Fandos, Jonathan Martin, and
Cochran, aside from that, maybe that guy could use a little bit of bass in his voice.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Thursday, January 7th.
I thought it was abroad.
Yeah.
Tell us how this day started.
All right, check this out.
Wednesday was always going to be a tense day in Washington because President Trump and his allies had decided that
Right? Like, we already knew there was going to be some kind of problem. But you figured it was just going to be like a circus or something, like a bunch of bullshit.
One final stand for his baseless and frankly unprecedented campaign to try and overturn the results of the election.
America first! America first! America first!
The president had invited and encouraged.
So what do you think about that? They're chanting America first.
It's just it's all hypocritical. Everything I'm hearing is hypocritical.
Right.
They're backwards. They don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah, what they're there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is backwards, right?
It ain't like Trump's want to get 4 more years just because you showed up on the line.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What
the fuck you there
What
for?
do they think this is a guy? Do these people believe that there was going to be like a civil uprising?
Yes.
And that the
they
troops
did.
would show up.
When I play for you,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. When I play, listen, when the troops showed up, that's a great point you brought up because. So think about this. One of the big questions, Biden brought it out. One of the big questions is, where were the federal troops? Where the fuck?
There were nobody. They didn't send anybody over, dude. I don't even see the National Guard really up in that bitch.
Well, I'll tell you what we do know. From the governor of Maryland, who's a Republican, okay, who's also one of the guys that said, you got to take Trump out now. He's too dangerous for the country. Governor of Maryland, all right, check this out. When they stormed the Capitol, right, and the Paul Blart Mall Cop fucking D.C. police got overrun, right? Like they just basically got out of the way or shook their hand on the way in or whatever they did, right? They got all the Congress people to these like safe rooms. You know, for like when, Muslim extremists attack or Iraq attacks, they've got plans.
Terrorist attacks.
When terrorists attack, they got plans. And those same plans they use for
got
these
put into effect.
Exactly. They got triggered.
Right.
So they're in these safe rooms. And now you got Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and a rep from Maryland, right? And they're in this room. And I would have given anything. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to make light of it.
To be in that room.
But just to see like old Schumer, like old politicians thinking they're going to die. Shitting, like, oh my God, call Nancy, tell her I love her, You're like, what were they doing? Like just freaking out, right? And Nancy's sweating and whatever. Okay. But they're sitting there on the phone and they're trying to figure out where's the National Guard? Where's the federal troops? Like, what the fuck? Like, on a Tuesday when there's nothing going on, you have those people. On the day when they're certifying.
Where are they?
Where are they?
So doesn't that make you think that this thing is a setup?
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Make no mistake.
Right.
Set up for exactly what? We don't know. But I definitely think so. Because, and that's what part of the investigation is going to be about. Because, so the representative from Maryland, he just happens, because he's a big politician, know the governor of Maryland. Maryland's like right next to D.C., so he calls up the governor. It's like, hey, governor, we're on a shitstorm. Like, can you send us Maryland National Guard? Governor of Maryland says, I've already whipped them up. I've already ordered them to go. Only problem is I can't do it until the Secretary of the Army or whoever it is gives me the go-ahead. I need federal authorization by the rules. And I've been calling that motherfucker. The guy who replaced Mark Esper, who got fired about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he's not returning my calls. So I can't send them the guard. So in a time of crisis, and it took over 2 hours or something like that for the federal authorization to finally get in. The person who's in charge of allowing those troops to get in and save and take care of and suppress that riot took hours and did not return the calls, and the person who authorized it wasn't even the right federal person to authorize it. Somebody got on and said, send them, send them, send them. Somebody that wasn't a part of the fucking plan said, send them, and they did. And now there's going to be a major investigation as to why were the people whose job it is to okay National Guard troops to go in and take care of this problem.
They're going to backtrack that, and they're going to find out where this leads to, who
Why weren't they there?
Yeah, man.
Why weren't they there?
And that's one branch of a million different things that went wrong that day.
Right.
That's one.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Or
Or went right. Or went right if you're on
depending on
Yeah, you're on that side.
Right.
Imagine that. Think about that. So that's when you said, did they think? Yeah, they did. I mean, the other part of it is that the DOJ has warned that, like, hey, national security secrets. There was laptops and things also stolen from the Capitol.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
There's a way through all our cities to track everything. You can track large amounts of people.
Right.
Right. I'm wondering, like, if there was some type of a plan, you could probably look and track and see, like, groups of people migrating or trying to get to different areas. I'm wondering, like, if they have their eyes on everything, bro. Nothing's being missed unless they want it to be missed or nobody wants it.
You know how Europe, Spencer, Europe, England, whatever, all them cameras they got all over, they're down. They're down over there. They see everything that happens over
Everything
there.
that happens. But I'm thinking they've seen everything that happens
How come
here.
they can't do it here?
They can.
Yeah, they
do.
can. I think
They
so.
just don't want to spend
Hey,
the
if
money.
you no, they do. They have they have the security cameras all over Washington D.C. for sure. Not only that, they got cell phone pinging,
Right.
and all of these nut jobs are all on websites congregating.
I want to. Yeah, man. I just.
So they do. They do know. Oh, they do know. But like you said, somebody installed people who were going to look the other way when the time came.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. That's
So
gonna happen.
Because you want to know something, Jim?
Yeah.
Because as blacks and browns are gathering, somehow they know those stats and numbers and what they're doing.
Right.
So then they knew it about this white. Unless somebody was told, just turn your head, let them do their thing, or whatever it might be.
Right. The same thing as when the first attempt was, well, why don't we call Georgia up, whoever counts the votes in Georgia, and just say, hey, maybe you found some more votes.
That's how he said it.
Yeah, like, hey, all we need is 11,700 votes. Maybe they're around somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe you found.
We
some.
count those. We look through those.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to do the whole thing if we can find. I mean, who would? I mean, who's even knowing?
And that was, and they found this.
And that audio got leaked, and the Georgia secretary was like, "No, you're wrong." And he's a Republican. He was like, "No, you're wrong. That's not. We counted them all, and there's nothing, and there's nothing to find." So then they went to Plan B. All right, we're going to march in protest against the certification of this election. We're going to march in protest, right? So Plan B, and then Plan B comes into effect, and guess, who's all the people that are in the Pentagon that are supposed to be watching and covering the security and all that other shit, right? Who are the people that are in charge? And it's the same people that Trump hired or the person under them that Trump fired. A deputy fuckface who was never going to be at the top of the top. A shit stain. A sidekick who was never going to be the top of the top. Might get his chance in the sun if he looks the other way because his boss got fired. Now he's in charge. He gets to put that on his resume. Who knows? And what people don't understand is that's one of the ways Stalin stayed in power. Listen, Joseph Stalin.
He's a G.
That dude would he would say, I think that there's some people that are trying to fucking overthrow the government. We need to find these people out, right? He would never come out and say, kill this motherfucker. He would always say, hey, let's have a meeting. I'm suspecting that there's people that are endangering the manufacturing system of the great communist state of the blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I think we need to do an investigation.
Okay.
Now, the people that could read between the lines, they would start turning over evidence. Oh, I heard, right
off the bat,
Georgy Velastikov was talking mad shit about Joseph Stalin back when we were playing poker. You should have heard what he said he was going to do to Joseph Stalin's wife. Said he was going to fuck her in the ass, fuck her in the mouth. Do you have evidence of that? Well, my testimony, swear to God. Right?
Is that how to go down?
Absolutely.
Right.
1,000%. They'd start reporting on people, right?
Right.
then they would have what they call these show trials, right? Joseph Stalin would be like, oh my God, can you believe what's going on here? Jesus Christ. All right, execute. Put him on a barge and let's just bomb the barge. It's costing too much, right?
Put him on a what?
Yeah,
Did you say?
He killed people by putting people on barges and fucking just bombing it.
Damn.
Would he put a bunch of people on the barge?
Jewish people. He did that to Jewish people.
He put a bunch of people on a barge and bombed it?
And sank them. Killed them.
That's gnarly, dude.
Well, I don't know if it's Joseph Stalin.
Fuck.
I don't know if it was Joseph Stalin who did it, but somebody said it might have been Stalin that one death is a murder, 10,000 deaths is a statistic. So what he learned was if you kill enough people, you don't create the same feeling of injustice. It now becomes a much larger thing that's not really like a murder to the general public.
Really?
Yeah, you kill one, that's murder. Kill 10,000, that's a statistic. It's no longer a murder.
Wow.
So, crazy, right? So
gnarly, bro. I never heard that one with the fucking barge.
Yep. And then Stalin, right? Then everyone would turn on their boss.
Right.
Be like, that guy, let me tell you about that guy. You don't know this.
Everybody would turn on their boss.
Boss, friend, rival. Right? I mean, like, imagine you're trying to bang some chick and this guy's like she loves, he's cock blocking you. It would be real simple for you to just...
Again, it's the power play at the top, right? It's the politics.
And then...
Right? Deadly as a game.
5 years would go by, and then Stalin would be like, would do another investigation and find out, wait a minute, all that shit was made up. That was a conspiracy. You fucking lied. And he'd get rid of those dudes.
Wow.
He adds absolutely...
This is how you're saying he stayed in power so long.
He was able to keep everybody at the right balance of turning on each other and committing a crime without him actually saying it. And then you committed a crime to turn in a guy, then you were in his pocket. And if you didn't play ball, then he would do an investigation on you and find out you lied. And now you were responsible for killing a great patriot. Kill you.
Damn.
That's exactly what happened.
Wipes his hand.
That's exactly, and he wasn't sorry about it.
Right.
Like he wasn't like, getting like, having bad, nervous, conscious, pangs of conscience and feeling guilty and crying and, going to therapy about it.
How did Stalin die?
He died old age. He died of, it was not technically old age. He had a disease. I think it was like either a heart attack or an aneurysm, but he was older. It wasn't like he died from assassination.
Right.
He died from and he was the last motherfucker. Like when he died, he wasn't taken out. He went all the way to the end of his life. Imagine starting out anyway. So do I think that Trump, right? But the problem is that, so you've got this one contingent of these radical racists that want to fucking have a civil war and kill people of color and Jews and fucking gay people and everyone else, right? Then you got that going on. But what we don't know, right? Because again, the Department of Justice has said, hey, national secrets may have been stolen when the mob ransacked the offices, right? Because these offices, it's like, a lot of these senators and Congress people sit on intelligence committees. So they've got information, right? So if you're a guy like Putin, right, Putin on the wrist, Putin, right? Imagine if you're sitting there thinking like, okay, so how do we breach security with enough cover and grab whatever the fuck we want?
Wow.
And nobody's none the wiser. The entire nation's attention is turned towards racists and this problem and all this other shit. So you can see how racists would be the perfect beard for counterintelligence that's helping our enemies.
Because shit was stolen from in there.
For sure. Shit was stolen.
Laptops, everything.
Yep.
And that shit could be handed off to the Russians.
Probably is handed off to the Russians. To think about that. Now, seriously, think about that. Think about seriously, like...
That's deep cover shit.
That's a lot of smoke and mirrors. What can they really do with it? Nothing. You know what I mean? They can't really do nothing with it.
Right.
Nothing.
I mean, imagine if, just really think about that for a second. Think about how, like, there's always been a Russian relationship with the president. No one doubts that. I mean, this is why I've always said that Melania is a red sparrow. Right?
She's a spy?
She's a Russian-trained honey trap.
She's foreign.
Yeah, she's the one that was was built to catch Trump.
Not only that, but she fucking bounced.
Even his last wife, what was she?
Ivanka.
Yeah.
Right.
But what did she do? She bounced where?
I mean, since the new year, no one's seen her. And that's true.
What?
Yeah. She bounced. I mean, she's somewhere, but she's not visible.
Well, I just read that she was, during the insurrection, she was doing a photo shoot.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
Think about
They're on two different planets, if that's the case.
So think about that. I mean, how much does anyone even know about Melania?
Not enough.
Seriously.
Not nothing. People don't know anything about the first lady.
She don't know enough English.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Come on, dude.
Think about that. And so, okay. And so let's say, like, Melania is not, like, necessarily the person behind everything. She's just one of the people that...
Maybe she's a watchdog.
That's it. Or, right, knows enough about Trump, right, his inner workings, that she can blackmail him.
That'd be sweet.
Right.
Or maybe she's owned by Putin.
Exactly.
And we're done with you. You're fucking up.
Or Putin is like, no. This is how it's going to go down. Like, because the Russians infiltrated the National Rifle Association. They know that. They actually know that. So that's the NRA. Okay. NRA is also, right, major fucking Ku Klux Klan motherfuckers love the NRA. So you've got this sort of weird relationship between the Russians and the racists. And it may very well be that the regular person doesn't think about it, doesn't care. It's not really into Russia, none of that shit, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying all it takes is a couple of smart motherfuckers from our enemies, even China. Chinese got white people working for them.
They just have to identify the cancer in America.
That's
all.
it.
And let's just support the cancer.
That's right.
Because if any kind of confusion or if we can cause a civil war, we know that, that's when we're going to capture these guys.
Right.
Right.
So all they need is a president who's going to sustain a group of racists and convince them, like, hey, we're going to have another civil war, motherfucker. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Spencer, ain't there something happening with China right now?
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of shit going on. And just like in the hospital, like you bring up, Ken, just like when they have a needle go into the system past your defenses to give you some medicine or to inject something, bacteria can ride along with that. And if that bacteria gets in, you're dead, motherfucker. DOA. Staph infection to the fucking nuts. So I'm saying we don't know what really is going on. But I can tell you this. This kind of racism and this kind of antics is a threat to national security. That's what I'm saying.
Isn't this considered by law an act of war?
Yeah. Insurrection, sedition. Yeah. Absolutely. Overthrow sedition. The government.
Right.
100%.
And Juman, you're an attorney, bro. What? They were talking about using all the footage they got. Well, they did this in the 90s. They did this shit. In the 90s, whatever footage they could come up with, whatever intelligence they can come up with, the hood, or where they burned shit and stole shit, the fucking police eventually went back to these houses.
Oh, they already made arrests. They already made arrests.
Yeah.
They got that one dude that was sitting on Pelosi's
desk.
Right. That's what I want to know. Like, how does this go down? How do these people get held responsible? Are they going to investigate? Are they going to?
Yeah,
they will.
Some of the Capitol rioters are going to face up to 10 years in prison because Trump wrote a law that said that if you desecrate a federal monument or whatever. Remember when he was trying to nail the Black Lives Matter?
He wrote a law that's going to fuck him more?
Yep.
Or he was involved in making it pass, yeah.
No, he was involved. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So these guys are going to be convicted by the law of the guy that they were trying to install as the president. And these idiots were doing live streams and Facebook posts.
Yeah, because they thought that it was.
Listen,
the whole world was about to change.
So they've got over 4,000 tips already on all the people that were involved. The FBI's already got it. And they're showing up in other states and arresting motherfuckers.
You want to know something, too? I'll tell you right now. You know what? As they start to pluck these dudes, these people, you can tell by these people, but they're so retarded. They're going to start saying, well, we're going to give you 10 years. And that guy's going to go like, you know what? I can provide you 10 addresses and 10 more names.
Bob and Tom.
Yep, I got it. Just cut 2 years. Dude, they're going to be flipping so many deals, they probably will tell, everybody will tell on each other.
Debrief.
They're all going to debrief on each other.
Listen.
Then they need to, man. This is craziness, man. So
check this out. A North Texas attorney said that he lost his job because he shared on Twitter videos of himself storming the Capitol. His boss at the law firm saw that and fired his ass.
Yeah.
So people are also losing their jobs. They're not even just going to prison. So, and this guy, like, if you would have met him on another day, you would have thought, like, looking at his suit and all this stuff, you would have been like, oh, well, he's an intelligent guy. He's obviously part of the business community. He's not involved in guys with fucking, horns and fur on their head and painting themselves like it's a football game, like it's a college football game.
There were those people.
But this guy's in with them. This guy's running around with him. And people are quickly, I want a lot of the businesses that donated to Trump, right, to his campaign, I want those businesses to be outed. And I want those businesses to face public fucking scrutiny. You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
You're part of the problem.
How do we find that list?
I don't know. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it's going to come out, but I don't know. Check this out.
That's a good point. Let's not forget that. We need to find that list. We need to find that. And at the very least, we need to be promoting it on our show. These scumbags. At the very least, we could pull some names out and let people know.
Let me see if I can find some of the reporters talking about how this organization got together. It's kind of scary when you hear it.
It's Friday, January 8th.
It's actually Saturday, but I'm playing yesterday's shit.
Yes.
Sure, what do we know about how this mob that stormed the Capitol came to be and to what extent it was organized from the start? What are you learning in your reporting?
It was extremely well organized. The day after the election, a group immediately pops up on Facebook called Stop the Steal. It initially builds on this base of kind of Tea Party activists and QAnon supporters and otherwise long-term members of MAGA, the Make America Great Again term that Trump likes to use. And they come together and they start collecting what they see as evidence of voter fraud.
So people are coming here to vote for Donald Trump, and those votes are all getting invalidated.
Now, we've got firsthand evidence from our poll watchers, Republican poll watchers, that witnessed them changing ballots.
We also know that y'all can't win shit, so you've got to cheat so you can.
And they're dropping in.
I mean, listen to that.
They're saying what they're saying, but they actually don't got evidence, or else it would have been presented.
Could you imagine how many newspapers or whatever could fucking sell if you actually had evidence of that? Like Newsmax or Fox, if you had a picture of like somebody taking a video of somebody taking a ballot and like erasing fucking Biden's name and writing Donald Trump. Dude, they didn't have it.
Right.
And videos and photographs, a lot of them very obviously photoshopped, but nonetheless
They do. They were photoshopping a lot of this shit.
Officials did everything from smuggle in ballots in suitcases, allow people to vote in the names of their dead loved ones.
And what did you just tell me? My dog voted in the 2020 election.
Allow people to vote in the name of their pets.
And how did you find this out? I got an email that now she has her microchip number as her social security.
And they are
crazy.
Think about that. So
dog.
Listen,
That's
so
crazy.
So they say they lose the election, right? And then all of a sudden you get all these videos online of like, fat women talking about like, oh yeah. And you know how I know it's fraud? Because my dog actually voted. How did I? And he got his chip number. They're trying to deep state.
Ain't that nothing? Wow.
Immediately popular in really just an unprecedented way. They are gaining 100 new members every 10 seconds. And they gather hundreds of thousands of people behind this banner that there was voter fraud. And that
hundreds of people every 10 seconds are going in for that.
Right.
That's how many idiots we have in this country.
That's crazy. That's nuts, bro.
This is what I'm saying. Dude, this is why I say public education has to be priority number one.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you can't look at a Photoshop video and know that it's bullshit and that you're being led down the primrose path to allow Russian agents to get into our capital, like if you don't have the kind of common sense for that, then you got to get out
for it.
Yeah. You know what? We got an immigrant who's hardworking and intelligent who's going to take your spot. Get the fuck on out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck on out. If you're that kind of citizen, they're trying to build a wall to keep out people who are, quote unquote, a threat to this country. Meanwhile, the real threat are these smelly fuckfaces
that are here.
Yeah. Think about that. Imagine if you were somebody like, imagine if you were a Vietnamese person, hard working, like you lived some serious shit. Like you know what hard work is, and you know what not getting paid is, right? You're under no illusions about how hard life can be, and you're like, fuck it, I'm coming to the United States, and I'm gonna fucking, and they're like, no, slow your roll, Vietnam, because we got citizens that need these opportunities. So you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, there's only so many opportunities for people. So let me take a look at who's getting these opportunities. Let me see the caliber, the American amazing caliber, the individuals who are afforded opportunities in the land of freedom, in the land of gold. And then they go on site and they look and they see these fucking idiots attacking themselves. Like, think about that. Like, how insulting would that be? How much more could somebody from Mexico who's a hard worker, how much more could they make of an American opportunity than somebody who's building a hangman's noose outside Washington, D.C.?
Unbelievable, bro.
they are the ones that will uphold a democratic process and make sure that Trump serves another term in office.
Dude, Sean, we need beats like that.
Watching it all happen in real time, I had this sense of kind of collective mob delusion where someone would post something that, to my eyes, looked very clearly photoshopped. People's images superimposed on one another. A ballot, for instance, where the date was changed and the font looked different to me. And then anyone who dissented, anyone who even said, wait a minute, I don't know if that looks like a ballot, immediately you would see them evicted from the group. So at a certain point, myself and other reporters who are watching this get really alarmed. And so we write to Facebook and ask them if this group is violating their rules, if they're paying attention to it, or if there's any concern among Facebook that these rumors of widespread voter fraud are going to cause them any problem. And Facebook, within a couple hours, answers and says that they're looking at the group. And then even as I'm reading that email, I see the group come down.
Wow.
And in its short life of 48 hours, it had managed to attract 320,000 people. But more importantly, it spawned hundreds of other Stop the Steal groups on Facebook and on Twitter. And now they've got Reddit boards. And so that inaction by Facebook, that 2 days that it took them to notice the group, to shut it down, was enough time to get their followers united against this banner of Stop the Steal.
So what happens to these hundreds?
So you see what she's saying? She's saying that like it was clearly being organized on Facebook. Idiots from around the country were high-fiving each other and figuring out what they could do. It took reporters to write in to Mark Zuckerberg and say, hey, motherfucker, you got terrorists plotting on your fucking platform. And they were like, we're looking at it. And then they shut it down, but they shut it down in 2 days. After 2 days, to give them enough time to meet up.
250,000 people together.
And what's that right-wing Parler?
Yeah, the app.
Yeah, there's an app called Parler that's like in reaction to Twitter and stuff, because Twitter and Facebook, technically they're like, you're not supposed to be trying to incite violence on our fucking platforms. You can't do that.
You can't even use cuss words.
Right. So I said, fuck that. But the point of the matter is they went to Parler and they went to these other places to coalesce and figure out what they were going to do.
Of thousands of Trump supporters once this Facebook group is disbanded.
They start to splinter off into the farthest corners of the web, and they find themselves on these new social media platforms like Gab and Parler, which have really found their moment in this Trump era of being places on the internet where people on the far right can say whatever they want to say with no fear of moderation or censorship.
Translation, we can use the N-word against black people and nobody's going to say shit. Right? We can talk about killing, Mexicans and nobody's going to say shit.
So now Google Play and Apple Store have taken down Parler.
Apple gave them 24 hours to moderate that shit, and Google took them out.
Reddit pulled down The Donald, which was their big, huge hub of where they would meet online and talk about.
Dude, if you would go onto The Donald on Reddit, like sometimes I would just go in there to see what these idiots were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit. They were telling each other crazy shit in there. Like, it's time for a race war. It's time for the white people to fucking finally get their country back. Like, that's what they were saying. And it wasn't just like, couple people. It was like a lot with like thousands of likes.
How long do you guys say it's going to be before we have either a complete revolution or a civil war in the United States? How far away is that?
I mean, I can tell you, I don't know, but I can tell you this. A lot of the extremists have been talking about continuing on.
Right.
Like, there's been evidence that a lot of these extremists, these terrorists are like, well, okay, inauguration. When's the inauguration?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Everyone's worried.
The 20th or something?
I think, what the thing is I think that even at the rally, not the guys who went in the Capitol building, but even just the people that didn't go in, they were armed. A lot of them were armed out in the street. They were carrying guns, open carry, practicing their constitutional
one
right.
2 blocks away had seven jugs of Molotov cocktails.
11. He had 11 Molotov cocktails.
Straps.
Two unregistered
They
straps.
cracked him? They caught him?
They got him.
I got him.
In the Molotov cocktails was a mixture of melted styrofoam and gasoline, which is homemade napalm.
Yeah. Agent Orange.
And one of the guys, one of the guys that was inside the Senate chamber had like 1,000 zip tie cuffs. Like, he had a whole bundle of zip tie cuffs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because they were planning on doing something more than just what was going on right there.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, they were going to... Oh, bro.
I think
they killed a cop.
They're waiting for it to crack.
Yeah, I think they were up there going to try and... They look at, man. I think they were going to try and hold some public executions themselves.
They did. They built
that fucking thing, yeah.
And they were yelling, hang Pence. Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence. They were yelling that because the vice president is the guy who runs the Senate. Like, he's the way. So he was supposed to, and Trump told him, like, hey, block this certification. Don't certify this shit. And Pence on that day told him, I don't have the power to do that, bro. And then Trump said, you're no friend of mine. And he told the group and he told the crowd, like, hey, if Pence doesn't do the right thing, you know what to do.
It'll be a sad day in history. I heard him say that.
Yeah. And so they all were saying, hang Mike Pence. And they had to hide Mike Pence. And according to sources, according to hard luck sources on the ground there, Mike Pence was really fucking pissed off. Like, people were like, I've never seen him that mad before. Of course, I don't know what that means, Like, he furrowed his brow or whatever. The guy's not human, I don't think.
Those are my people. My name is Ali Alexander.
And we start to see leaders emerge, such as Ali Alexander, who's a figure in the far right who's considered himself one of the sort of key characters in the MAGA movement supporting Donald Trump.
We're going to make our voices heard. We're going to protect this president by stopping the steal.
And they start to rally and figure out what can we do next. And we see them over the months of November and December seizing upon certain dates, whether it's a court case that's happening in Pennsylvania or a recount that's happening in Arizona. There's always a date somewhere on the horizon where they think the results of the election are going to be overturned. And
we're just, you know what? Do you want?
I say we. What?
I was gonna say, did you want to let Lepke come in, or did you want to end it, or how do you want to do it? Because just so the listener knows, Big Lep came in with his homeboy. We got Chino here, Sean here. We've been talking about the fucking insurrection from the terrorists. And a special
this is a non-stop topic. You know?
It kind of is. So
it'll go on.
Right.
I think we'll be. You know what? I think there's going to be. I think it's going to inevitably come up anyways.
Right.
All
right.
But I think we should listen. I think we've got some good stuff in here. I really wanted to. I just wanted to throw it around some more, and we're going to throw it around some more. We will. Yeah. But this is.
Tune in.
Before we wrap up,
go ahead, please.
Yes, please.
What's your prediction for the future? Just in the next couple months, what do you think is going to happen with Trump and the far right or the alternative right or whatever the hell they're fucking talking about? What do you think is going to happen?
Okay, what's going to happen? What the fuck is going to happen? That's a good question. First and foremost, they're gonna have to. There's a couple of things that gotta happen. No, I got this camera on.
Going on you.
No, this camera is on me. On the
really?
my one.
Oh, you got two of them?
Yeah, but they're not going. Well, you could turn it around on me if you want. I don't give a fuck. Here, but it's all right. What's gonna happen is. So first and foremost, they gotta make a. The country has to make an example of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's number one. So for everyone that's saying, like, just let him ride it out, it's only a couple more, like 11, 12 more days, I think the fist has to come down on that fool Trump. I think that he should have to serve prison. I don't think that they should let him Epstein out. I think he's got to live in prison, and I think they got to make Trump's face like a glory hole to anyone who's sexually frustrated in prison. Just let them all, right? Let them all go, no matter what it is. Let him hit that white lightning and then just pretend it's Fifi and just fucking stretch his mouth out. You know what I mean? Like stretch marks on his fucking mouth.
Send him to Pelican Bay.
Yeah, send him to Pelican Bay, and so he can meet a lot of these fucking guys that, you know, need some release. You know what I mean?
We wish that would happen.
Think about this, bro. Put your mind on this one. Hey, Big Lep. Big Lep's in the house. Buenos dias.
Program time.
Hey.
Shake that sheet.
Hey.
Brush that teeth.
Hey.
Fucking.
Hey.
We're gonna set you up right now.
Hey, but this is an American Indian dedication going out to Big Lepke. Big Lepke. This is. Hey, Lep.
We're the tribe of the Israelites.
Hey, did you see those guys that were wearing? Did you see those guys inside the?
I got my boy Danny Diablo on Instagram. Shout out to Danny Diablo, DMS. What is it? Drugs?
DMS.
How they call it? What's that stand for? The abbreviation: drugs, sex, and
I
money.
don't know.
They about that money over there.
DSM.
Yeah, something like
DMS.
that.
Hey,
Anyway,
hey.
You asked me a question. You want me to answer?
Do you even know what the question is?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Next, I didn't ask a question. Here, let me tell you. I'm making a dedication to you because I'm going to reference Manson.
All right.
Now, let me ask you a question, Big Lep.
Okay.
Did Manson actually kill anybody?
No. We don't know.
What did he
orchestrated? They said that he you know, I don't
brainwashed.
It's like politics with that. Yeah, he.
No. Good. Just say what he did.
He went into one of the houses. They don't have evidence, but it was stated when he was. He did go and tie. I think he tied someone up. I think he.
Did he actually kill anybody?
What's his name's? No, I don't think he killed.
Okay, so how did he get convicted of murder if he didn't kill anybody?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so whatever they did to
Manson. You're a lawyer.
Whatever they did to Manson that put him into jail, they need to do that to Trump.
Exactly.
Yes.
They can't allow.
That's right.
Right? If you can convict Manson of killing a bunch of people without actually pulling the trigger, just being the guy that organized it and brainwashed them,
Right.
then you should put Trump in Manson's cell.
And he should be held responsible for the 5 murders at the fucking
That's exactly right.
deal. And
Do you
so
hear what
that's
I'm
what
saying?
we're going to say.
Hey,
Right?
I got his autograph.
Do you?
Donald
Yeah,
Trump?
he did. No, shit. We were there. He was there when we were there.
No, when I was in Vacaville.
No,
Hey,
you
did
got
you
it,
ever?
Victor?
Did you ever?
Dave was up in Vacaville.
Hey,
I remember when he was
you
up
got
there.
did you ever like look in his eyes or talk to him
I
at
don't
all?
know who he was.
Oh.
I was a youngster.
Right. But did he seem weird?
No, he was running around with a padre, a father, a priest.
Yeah.
He was running around with a priest.
I got stories
well,
about
the day they
my homeboy,
tried to set him on fire.
Wait, what? Try to set who on fire? In Vacaville, they tried to set him on.
Was his neighbor David Binstock? He was
yeah?
the neighbor, yeah, because he was playing. They had him. Jake. He tried to kill himself in the county, so he went on the psych roll. My homeboy when he killed the dude from White Fence up there in the thing.
Wait.
In the Saint, what's that called up there in Hollywood? The Saint Francis.
St. Francis
the building.
Hotel.
Remember
Hey,
St. Francis? Yeah.
who tried? Somebody tried to set Manson on fire?
Aryan
He had
Brotherhood.
problems. He
ABs.
had problems. Yeah.
Damn.
If
You
you're
get a name.
you're
If
in
you
the
run up
public
on
eye.
him.
You're in the public eye.
Right, you got to run up. on him.
Somebody else wants
Somebody wanted
to
to
steal
get
your
him.
fame.
Yeah, somebody wanted to
Right.
get him.
Put a notch on the fucking.
Hey,
thing.
let's.
wait. So the prediction is you got to.
is-
Okay, so you have to convict Trump. Not only do you have to convict Trump, but you got to convict, and they're going to his deputies, so that everybody that was associated with Trump is punished for not standing up to him.
What was the statement he made to get everybody to roll over there? Because I ain't really on the news too much.
He said, "We're gonna walk. We're gonna walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. We're gonna walk down Pennsylvania Avenue." Right? That's what he said. He also said, "And you don't concede.
Right.
You don't concede when there's theft. You don't concede."
No, you're right.
That's what he said. So he told him, "And we're gonna fight." And dude, there's video that Don Jr., that weaselly, greasy little fucking sad little man, his son, did a selfie video of himself in the tent before his dad went out. And dude, and when you look at it, right, you see Trump in the back, you see Ivanka, his daughter, there. You don't see Melania anywhere.
Like they were watching on a video.
Yeah, and then
after the speech.
Before.
Then what difference does it make if it's before or after?
Because you get to see what they're doing right before they incite the riot.
Yeah.
What were they doing?
They were fucking dancing like rich fucks that don't give a shit. You look at you.
I thought that was after.
It's before. Because he goes, it's about go time in about a second.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said. But he's back there and they're listening to Gloria. Gloria. That's the riot music. That's the riot music. Gloria.
That's their pump up jam.
Yeah. You think they got your number? Yeah. Right? They're going to take over the United States with that's their soundtrack. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something wrong with the people.
There's something wrong, right? And then Don Jr.'s behind the thing, and he's like, Kamala, his like wife or girlfriend or whatever, right? And she's got like way more fucking plastic surgery than Michael Jackson. Right. And he's like, Kamala, and she's dancing to Gloria, and it's like the lamest white chick dance you ever saw.
Right.
I swear to God, right? She's like, and then,
lame.
yeah, it's real lame,
Fucking
man. So and she gets on there, and even she says, "Thank you, everybody. You know, we gotta fight. We gotta fight." So you can tell that these people
are all pumped up.
They're pumped up, and they have zero like understanding of like what their dad's about to unleash. Like that their dad's about to get up there, and he's gonna unleash. And you can also kind of see that Trump's surrounded by fucking idiots. Like he's related, like the flesh of his flesh is rotten flesh.
What's the reason if he's still in there and hasn't moved out or whatever? What's the reason these people go to fuck the place up? I don't get it.
What do you mean? What do you what?
Like why are they going in there? Was there a bunch of Democrats? Were they going where the Democrats were?
No, they're going to.
They're all pissed. For one, they're all pissed because he didn't win the election.
He's not going to be in there.
No,
they're
because
just tear the shit up now.
They're going to certify.
Well, why do we justify that?
We're not. They're the Senate. So there's okay. So check it out. Constitutionally, right? There's like a certification process.
Right.
Meaning So the votes send their electoral votes.
Right.
Right. Each state sends their electoral vote. It goes to the Senate.
They were tripping on Georgia.
No. Wait. Don't mix them yet. Let me just keep them separate.
All right.
So you have the electoral college.
Exactly.
Okay.
I know about all that.
Okay.
Just tell me about the
I'm
reason
trying
why
to get there.
those dudes.
Hey,
went
this ain't
crazy.
Jimmy Dean's quick breakfast.
All right, let's see.
All right.
I don't eat that.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm trying to tell you.
All right.
This ain't okay. But point of the matter is, listen, is so they were counting. So the Senate has to certify them. And all that is they open up a ballots, they count them all up, and they say Biden's got 306.
Yeah, more
Trump-
money. Yeah, more money the taxpayers paying for this bullshit. Go
Hey,
ahead.
guess
Right,
what?
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
And guess who's
more
gonna
money?
Guess who's gonna have to clean up after these racist assholes? Who's
Exactly.
paying for that?
The
taxpayers.
Yeah.
The taxpayer.
That's
Us,
it.
us.
Right.
Yeah.
So they get to
Just
go.
like if we go to the joint, we got to pay tax.
They shit the bed. They shit the bed. Hey, they shit the bed. Listen, they shit the bed. We got to clean it up. All right, check it out.
The money goes uphill.
So the reason why they were going there, though, is because Mike Pence, as vice president.
Is this all about money? At the end of the day, I'm just asking.
No, you know
It's
what?
not really about money no more.
No,
huh?
it's about power.
It's about power. What did Jimi Hendrix say? I always post it.
Always.
Hey,
What did he say?
so they were gonna. So Trump
What'd
called.
he say?
When the love for power outweighs the power of love, or when the power of love outweighs the love for power, the world will know peace. There you go, Jimi Hendrix.
Nice.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
we're a long way from that.
Yeah.
bro.
And when did he say that? In the 60s.
Think about that.
Yeah, look where we're at now. We
Hey.
went fucking a mile and a half or
Hey, when
fucking
did-
20, 30, fucking 100 miles backwards
When-
where we're standing today.
Right.
Fuck all the bullshit.
Right.
Listen, this was a good show. Stay tuned. Always listen to the Hard Luck Show. Every
Right.
Monday and every Thursday.
This one's going up early.
And this one's going up early.
This is
you guys should be listening to
breaking.
the show.
Breaking.
All right.
Ooh, you still on.
I want to thank.
Hey, don't judge.
I want to thank
Don't
Big
judge.
Chino.
I'm down with
Very
that.
welcome. Very
I'm
welcome.
down with that.
Big
Yeah.
Chino.
Very
Thank you for
welcome.
coming and sitting in on this show, my
Right.
boy.
All right.
Stay
Lending
tuned because
your-
you're going to hear more from Chino.
Lending his-
Lefty, we got more from Lefty. Thank you for sitting in on the end of this one.
No problem.
Sean Lewis, you got anything for us?
Sean Lewis, oh blue eyes. Sean Lewis at the hardluckshow.com for all your audio needs. Hey, Sean, if anybody wants you to specially craft a beat for them, how much does that cost?
$29.95.
No, seriously, how much? $100. $100, you could have an official beat.
Hey, you're going to edit that out.
Why?
You need to say $250. Don't say no $100.
Yeah,
You
$250.
can't be our fucking engineer at $100 you make beats. That's not our engineer. Come on.
All right.
Ask him again.
Okay. How much does it cost for you to lay a track down for somebody? All right, so $500.
Starting at
Starts at 500.
Starts at 5.
That's
Yeah.
just a basic beat.
And if you need music, you gotta see my boy Sean Lewis.
No shit.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All
Good
right.
enough. What you
Ovando
got?
Bowen LLP.
Talk about braids in courtrooms.
That's right. That's right. We wear braids to court. We scare the judge. We scare your fucking enemies. And you know what? We're fucking smart.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I just want a major motion. Like last week, an entire case was riding on some shit that was written. We won on every single point.
Yeah. It's all W's for Chuma in the courtroom.
Hey, listen, man. We do everything we need to do.
What if
Right.
Trump calls you?
Hey,
and
you
the
know-
money's right.
Hey, hey, when Trump
me hear
calls,
it.
hey,
The money's
Let me
right.
hear it.
hey, if Trump calls the money,
Right.
is never right.
Right. That's right.
I'm
There
gonna
you
tell
go.
you right now.
That's
One
right.
of the reasons why I can write so well is because I only take cases I believe in.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm serious.
I hear you.
Hey,
come-
I do
don't
the
come
same.
up-
I do the same thing as you. I only jump on brands I believe in.
That's it, baby. What about you? What do you got?
I got Supermax.com. Go check out Supermax, Supermax brand. Vibes, cookies. Shout out to the Soul Assassins, Stevan
the-
Oreo, and the whole crew.
DJ
Muggs. And
Alchemist.
Enzo's Pizzeria, you guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right?
Westwood.
Enzo's Pizzeria.
We might have something special coming for you from that.
When's
the
that?
whole city of Santa Monica, the
Yeah.
whole city of Los
the West
Angeles.
Side.
Yeah, we got the
Four
got
Corners,
the South Side, got the
Venice,
West Side.
the
We
South
we're
Side.
here.
Yeah, we
Hey.
here.
What do we say at this time?
Adios, amigos, from the Hard Luck Show. Ciao.
Average weight loss 15 15.4 pounds in first 2 months. For guarantee cancel within first 14 days. Discount with 2 months of auto delivery. Food charged and shipped every 4 weeks. Call or see website for details.
Do you want to lose 18 pounds fast and improve your health? Now you can lose up to 18 pounds in your first 2 months with Nutrisystem. Get delicious breakfasts, lunches, dinners, even snacks and shakes delivered safely to your door. All delivered for free. It's easy to follow, and you'll see results in your first week. Just text BODY to 323232. You'll get your favorite foods made healthier and perfectly balanced to put your body in fat-burning mode. Text BODY to 323232 right now and get 50% off a month of meals and shakes. That's right, 50% off a month of meals and 50% off a month of shakes with probiotics to help support your immune system. Just text BODY to 323232 right now. There's even a money-back guarantee. Millions of people have lost weight with Nutrisystem, and you can too. Lose up to 18 pounds in your first 2 months. Just text BODY to 323232. That's BODY to 323232.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out.